All right, here we are today. Going to be stuffing some sausages. Um, what you want to do is make sure you rinse out your casings, and when you slide them over your stuffer tube, as you can see here, I got a little balloon going there. What you want to do is not tie off your casing until you get meat all the way to the end of your stuffer tube. That'll make things turn out a little better. I just did a little nick in it with my fingernail to let the air out. Just turns out a little better if you just get your tube pumped full of meat first and then start filling your casings. What I did here, I'm basically making them into links as I go. You can just go and make a big long coil out of them and pinch your links at at a later time, whatever, if you want to. But I just chose to do it this way. It's the way I've always done it, and it works out for me. Um, These casings here were a little bit on the short side. They were maybe 3.5, 4 foot long. Usually they're a good 6 to 8 foot long, and you can make some pretty good long strands of sausages with that. These here are Bratwurst. I did some other this day, some sweet Italian, and did some summer sausage in the collagen casings. I don't have any footage of the summer sausages getting stuffed, just tying them up, and then finally when they get out of the oven, getting cooked, because you need to cook those. And then you can just get them out of the freezer, thaw them out, and enjoy them. Yeah, process of this is fairly easy. It's something that you get better with as you practice it, and definitely I want to keep your casings wet when you slide them on there. The water works as a lubricant to get it to slide over the stuffing tube. And obviously this process would be a lot easier with two people doing it. It goes a lot faster when you have two people. I'm shutting the machine off, getting to the end of the roll there. There's my length of sausage links there, and putting them down on the table there, and kind of arranging them and sorting out some stuff. And that right there with the full tube of meat, there's how you should put your casing on, like that right there, so you don't get any air in the first one. You should fill your tube first all the way like it is right there. Then slide your casing on. Here's shots of all done there doing the bratwurst. Probably about 20 pounds of bratwurst there, I think it was. That's what I did the seasoning for, and it all seemed to turn out real good. Now here's the summer sausage all cased up. Those are the collagen cases, and they're not edible. What you basically do with those is when you're going to eat those, you just cut off the casing and go with that and do your slices of your sausage. Basically here I'm wishing I had hog rings instead of doing it with the string, but it's one of those things. You work with what you got and make the best out of it. knowing what I know now, I'd got a little hog ring pliers and the hog rings for the sausage and done it like that. And it would have made things a lot faster. Next time when I do it, that's what I'll have, all those little things like that, like for when you're doing wrapping and all that type of stuff, you know, tape holder, a good paper cutter, and etc. All that stuff really helps out, makes things go faster. Every time you can save a couple of minutes when you're doing the processing, it adds up to a lot, especially when you're doing a few deer. I was doing processing my deer and one of my neighbors here at the same time, so it ended up being quite a bit of meat and sausages when all done. There'll be a picture you'll see here. My whole refrigerator is stuffed full of venison at the time with just a couple other little things in there. You know, it's kind of a lot of fun. In some ways, it's a lot of work, but when it's all done, you know you did it. And a lot of satisfaction in that, especially, you know, when you put in all the work to get your hunting areas right and just, you know, every aspect of it, you know, you do your scouting, get your areas right, set up your deer feeders and set up your blinds, stands, and make it happen and finish making it happen till you get down to the final product of sausages and meats and all that stuff. And definitely enjoyed doing it myself. Thankful, you know, my parents and grandparents taught me a lot about the outdoors and whatever, especially my grandpa. We used to go fishing all the time and stuff. My dad and I did some hunting together, mainly waterfowl hunting. It's like that. My dad had kind of gotten away from deer hunting by the time I was going hunting with him. But we enjoyed quite a few waterfowl and dove hunts together, and definitely a lot of fishing. My family was really heavily into fishing. I kind of got more into big game hunting and stuff. Started off really doing it quite a bit when I hit about 28, 29 years of age. Got into it quite a bit. Wrapping these things up, it gets a little tedious, but like I said, I wish I had the hog ring pliers and would have just been like snap, 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 snap. Okay, they're done. Basically, what you see me doing there is I'm pulling out excess meat out of those so I can get those to tie up. And the tighter you can get them, it makes a better looking product in the end. Now here we have the refrigerator. As I had said, it's packed full of venison products here. There's like 40 pounds of summer sausage, 20 pounds of bratwurst, about 10 pounds of sweet Italian. I got 8 pounds of mixed sausage and burger, just leftover pieces of this, that, and the other that I put together and made sausage out of it. And also about 15 pounds of burger with beef fat. And now it's time to start cooking that summer sausage, and that takes quite a while. It's God, you started off at the oven at like 200 degrees, and you got to get the internal temperature up to 160 degrees. It takes quite a while. It's a good 6 to 8 hour process. It just depends, and it seems like it just doesn't ever want to hit the temperature. Yeah. Yep. summer sausage is done. Got up to that 160 inside temp. So that's all done, just sitting there cooling, letting everything cool off, and getting a little bit of residual heat from my oven here, which feels good. It's not really super cold, but it's always better to feel nice and warm, ain't it? Alright, well, there's that, and what I've been waiting for is to get my oven open. But it's a little late tonight, and I already had something to eat because I was starving. But I've got my enchiladas set up to get thrown in the oven here real quick, and what we're going to do something with that here real quick. I don't know if I'm going to cook those off tonight or wrap them in plastic and wait for tomorrow. One way or the other, both ways a winner. I think I may wrap up those enchiladas and wait for tomorrow to put them in the oven, because I'm tired. I've been doing this since early this morning. Did a bunch of bratwurst. Did some other stuff. Been just working. Once you pull the trigger, the fun's over with and the work begins, I'm telling you. Have a good one.